Hi guys, this is Hector. Today is Thursday, the 4th of October 2007. It's late in the evening actually, it's 15 minutes past 8 p.m. London time. I've just come back home. None of my sound alarm have gone off, so I guess well, basically all the areas of consolidation we've been going through, at least on the setups that I was following today, none of them have actually broken out. Okay, let me review all the setups that I was following today. I mean the setups that I sent the guys on my mailing list this morning. First of all, I was following the New Zealand against the American dollar, of the New Zealand dollar against the American dollar of the 4 hours time frame, for a possible breakout to the upside in the direction of the main trend. As you can see right now on my screen, I'm scrolling down. We've had already 3 swings to the upside. Okay, we can clearly see this first swing, now this second swing, then we've had a third swing, which I'm gonna have to scroll back to the right edge of my screen right there. This is the third swing, and I was basically waiting for a breakout to the upside in order to search for another, like I say, for a whole new swing again. Okay, I was telling the guys that we basically have been consolidating throughout the last 3-4 days within a flag. Okay, flag formation, very clear flag formation. Okay, it's a textbook flag formation actually. And this being the pole of the flag, and this being the flag in itself, and I was basically waiting for a breakout to the upside, but as you can see, nothing has actually happened. Okay, as you can see, the average daily range for the New Zealand dollar is 115 pips, whereas today we've only moved 64 pips. All right, so very slow day, and well, no, this setup is still valid, like I said, still waiting for a breakout to the upside, but so far, well, still within the consolidation area. Next up, I was following also the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen. Another nice uptrend. Okay, you can clearly see that on my screen again. Very nice uptrend, forming in this case what's an ascending flat top triangle with a triple top, 1, 2, and 3 tops there at 103.50, waiting basically for a breakout again to the upside. And well, as you can see, we still are finding resistance at this 103.50 level. Of course, any breakout to the downside will mean that the whole setup is void, but for the time being, it's still valid. It's just that, well, we basically haven't broken out. Okay, very similar formation on the Australian dollar against the Swiss franc, also from the in the 4 hours time frame. Another nice uptrend, another ascending flat top triangle, and another setup that was basically well, that's still basically consolidating sideways right below the 104.50 area, which is the level I'm looking to, well, I'm keeping an eye on in order to search for breakouts. Okay, my sound alarm was right there. It hasn't gone off all day long, so you know, basically I gotta sit tight on my hands, because like I say, the trade still has not unfolded in itself. Right. Next up, in New Zealand dollar, the Kiwi against the Japanese yen, another very nice uptrend. Okay, you can clearly see that once again we are going through the third swing, this being the first swing, this being the second swing. Oh, I'm not drawing on my screen. 1 second. This being the first swing, this being the second swing, and now we've just gone back through the third swing. Another clear flat top triangle, very similar formation to the one I've just showed you in the previous chart. Okay, in this case we have a double top right below the 8900 level. I was telling the guys that basically waiting for a breakout to the upside, and I was also telling the guys this morning on the mailing list that if we see a breakout to the downside, I would not be surprised to see a thrust, okay, a very clear thrust to the downside, as many stop losses are being hit, and as well, people wanted to enter short in this market basically see the green lights, okay, their signal to enter short, and thus the price would move very quickly to the downside. Actually, we saw that. I was also telling this to the guys in the mailing list. We saw that yesterday on the euro. Let me pull out my euro chart right there. Okay, let me resize that to fit on the screen. Right there we have it. If we zoom into the 4 hours time frame, and I draw my trend line right there. Okay, all right, now let me zoom back in and scroll to there we are, to the right edge of the chart, and we can clearly see that once it gives way, the euro ran about 70 pips to the downside within 2 hours. Okay, very quickly. Like I say, this is most of the times because everyone who's been all the long-term traders who are riding the euro for in a long position, they keep trailing their stop losses behind this very clear trend line, and as soon as the trend line gives way, you know, as soon as the breakout actually happens, many stop losses are triggered, and therefore price propels down very quickly. In this case, like I say, for about 70 pips. All right, I don't take that type of trades because well, it's basically counter trend trading, and I don't do that. But nonetheless, some very aggressive traders do actually do that very profitably. I am not able to profit from counter trend trades. I've never been able to make money out of it. So well, you know, so in this case, I reckon it might happen something similar in case we do not break that double top. Okay, this double top formation, the actual level I'm waiting to, you know, or I'm hoping to see a breakout to the upside. If we actually see a breakout to the downside, I would not be surprised to see a long red candle, okay, as all the stop losses are being hit. All right. One more setup. This case, the euro against the Australian dollar. This setup was not in my watch list in the morning because we had the interest rates coming out in the market. I mean the interest rates for the euro, but nonetheless, once the announcement was out of the way, and once we confirmed that the actual data was came out as expected, and there was no major impact on the market. It was not that big, really, the impact, especially after Trichet's, or however you pronounce that, the president of the Central Bank of Europe. After his speech, there was not that big of an impact on the euro against Australian dollar. So for me, it was alright to keep on to resume watching this setup. All right, I was basically waiting for, like I said, for a breakout to the downside of this very clear flat bottom triangle. It's basically the same type of formation that I just showed you in the previous charts, but the other way around. We did get the breakout. I was waiting for the breakout pull, a continuation. Okay, we had the breakout there. Okay, a breakout pullback, and I had my sell stop order a few pips below the breakout thrust as usual. That's my sell stop order. It's the retracement is just taking this is taking 5-6 hours. However, I'm gonna cancel my sell stop order because tomorrow I'm not trading. I need to take a plane, so I'm not gonna be in the market. And the day after tomorrow, we are on well, it's weekend, so I'm not gonna be able to monitor this trade in real time. So this sell stop order is gonna be cancelled. I've cancelled it already, actually. Like I said, I just you know, I'm not gonna be able to follow this setup in real time, and therefore I don't feel comfortable leaving a market, you know, an order in the market. Okay, so nonetheless, it's still a very valid setup in my opinion. All right, have a look at the 4 hours time frame. Okay, very clear downtrend and a very nice bottom. Okay, very nice flat top, flat bottom triangle. All right. Alright guys, that's basically it. No trades for today. The setup's still good, but nonetheless we are still consolidating within the respective ranges or triangles. Okay, so I'm still gonna sit tight on my hands and let the setups unfold and develop the way they are supposed to. Okay, it's important to wait for the trade to come to you and not you chasing the trade. Alright guys, I'll be seeing you on next week actually. Bye bye.